Commander Masters promises to be the best and most impactful set for the Commander format maybe ever. For this to actually be true though, there have to be important reprints in the set beyond what we've already seen. This video will show you the absolute best cards to reprint in Commander Masters based on price, need, and flexibility. Every single one of these cards needs a reprint real bad, and I know you'll agree. Hope you enjoy this top 10 video, and if you do and want more videos like these in the future, be sure to tap the like button down below, it helps out a lot. For the sake of being realistic, this top 10 list won't include cards already printed within the last year, so while Dockside Extortionist, Jessica's Will, Teferi's Protection, Mana Vault, Rhystic Study, and Smothering Tithe all desperately need reprints again, they just got them. We're going to go a little further out and target cards that haven't seen the light of day in a bit, you'll see what I mean. There are a few honorable mentions I have to touch on that barely didn't make the list itself. The first is the Great Henge. Only ever been printed in Throne of Eldraine, this card has had a scary uptick in value since its creation, showing no real sign of stopping or decreasing in price. Played in a monumental number of green commander decks, sitting around $60 is simply too high for a green pseudo-staple like this. The price is definitely due to scarcity as a mythic in one set ever, so a reprint anywhere would help its price massively. People love playing big green creatures, so just let them. The other two honorable mentions are Doubling Season and Atraxa Praetor's Voice. While there are a plethora of cards in the infamous Proliferate deck that need to be reprinted, these two are at the top of the list. Doubling Season is so popular that printing it at Mythic over and over again just isn't working to curb the demand, and with Urtet recently released, the problem is front and center once again. Doubling Season is simply too powerful to not reprint every year. Atraxa Praetor's Voice is the most popular commander in the history of the format, that's just a fact. The scary part about this fact is that it's only ever been printed at Mythic, of course, and only in a limited number of sets. Commander 2016, the Commander Anthology Volume 2, and Double Masters. I'm not counting limited or promo printings because let's be honest, they don't help the price. Atraxa is way too popular of a commander to have limited printings, and while the 4-color identity does make inclusion in many products difficult, Commander Masters is the perfect place to bring back the Angel Horror. This set is about giving players a bounty of commander value. Atraxa is the most popular commander, she's gotta be in it. Alright, here we go, on to the list itself. Now, getting on this list requires vast playability and many different strategies. We're looking to impact as many players as possible with the reprints on this list. With that said, let me introduce you to number 10, Toxic Deluge. This classic Commander 2013 board wipe is played in nearly half of all mono black commander decks, a true black staple of the format. Toxic Deluge is still around $20 each due to its impressive inclusion rate and steady demand, and while the card's price has gone up and down in recent years, it is now holding steady at this level. Now sure, $20 isn't the most amount of money in the world, but certain cards should be $20 and certain cards shouldn't. Toxic Deluge, while powerful, doesn't need to be this high. It's a great rare level inclusion in any product and would make a perfect addition to Commander Masters, providing sweet value to black commander players while making this card slightly more accessible. It's like Lightning Greaves. If you stop printing this, it'll just start going up based on demand alone. Number 9 is Deflecting Swat. This card is insane, and I'm sure some of you knew this was going to be on the list. After its release in Commander 2020, Deflecting Swat took off right out the gate. A free redirect if you control your commander, totally busted. Despite its current very high price of $45, Deflecting Swat is absurdly popular, included in hundreds of thousands of red decks in Commander. Whether it be Crom and Timna, Wynota, Krenko, Outla Palani, doesn't matter. Deflecting Swat is versatile enough to find its way into basically any red commander deck provided you have the card. It would probably be even more well represented if it were cheaper, which brings me to my main point. A free redirect is versatile, flexible, and is a great staple for the Commander format, and it shouldn't be $45. Commander Masters could help that while giving players some nice value in the rare slot. Number 8 is Chrome Mox. This card might be unexpected, but hear me out. Chrome Mox has no color identity, can fit into any commander deck you want, and ramps and fixes for you at the cost of a single card in your hand. Even with its oppressively high cost of $70, and still rising by the way, Chrome Mox has found its way into commander decks across the world, included in almost 10% of all available decks according to EDH Rec. That's an absurdly impressive statistic. And unlike the other cards we've spoken about so far, including Chrome Mox, in a set like this performs a dual purpose. It's also a staple in some legacy and vintage strategies, which would give constructed players a reason to care about the set and would help them out immensely. Chrome Mox isn't going down anytime soon without a reprint, plus how cool would it be to have a hyped Lotus and Mox in the same set? Come on, that'd be cool, right? Think of the value. Coming in at number 7 is Fierce Guardianship, the free blue spell from Commander 2020. Every reason Deflecting Swat is on this list applies to Fierce Guardianship, but with even more intensity because Fierce Guardianship is an outrageously broken free counterspell sitting at $50 right now and is included in basically all blue decks in the entire format that can afford to run it. I could give you examples of top blue commanders that use this card, but really the examples include every single commander with a blue color identity whose pilot has a whopping $50 to spend on this. Fierce Guardianship is one of those cards that's simply too much of a staple and too powerful to stay printed only once. It's a matter of time until the Guardianship comes back. It's literally too good not to reprint, so it'll be back, but there's no better time than Commander Masters right here. With so many candidates for the Mythic Rare slots, the rare slots need some juice. Imagine Fierce Guardianship and Deflecting Swat announced as rares in the set. I would swoon so hard you don't even know. The card's too good not to reprint, so reprint it. Reprint it here or reprint it now. Number 6, and starting the heavy hitters, is Mana Crypt. Whether it be a Troxa, Urza, a Tasigur, you name it, Mana Crypt is a staple of staples in Commander. Its deck inclusion rate limited only by its laughably high price. To a certain extent, I can understand a very specific type of card and a very specific type of strategy being $200 due to scarcity or something like that, but I can't justify a universal staple of the Commander format costing $200. I just can't. It creates an unfun situation. Want to do silly things with a card like Anointed Procession that is $50? Sure, go nuts. And yeah, it deserves a reprint, but only a subsection of a subsection needs it reprinted. Mana Crypt? Everyone needs this card. In this video, I've touched on staples in the format being accessible, and Mana Crypt might as well be the poster child for it. They could even print this as a rare and it wouldn't annihilate the price. That's how wanted the card is. Commander Masters is a premium set with a premium price tag and has to promise premium value. If Mana Crypt isn't included in this product, with how insanely popular it is and with a $200 price tag, there better be a place for it sometime this year, because I cannot abide by a $200 Commander staple. I just can't do it. Getting into the top 5, I'm giving a nod to some legacy and vintage players. Ancient Tomb deserves a reprint and needs one. I don't consider Expeditions, Box Toppers, or the list as actual reprints, quote unquote, so we're left with a rare printing in Eternal Masters, and while I'm very thankful it wasn't a Mythic, it's time to bring it back. The price has gone completely out of hand in recent years, going up consistently and aggressively since the Ultimate Masters reprint. The problem is that in addition to seeing a large amount of play in Commander, specifically all colorless decks possible, Ancient Tomb is also a staple in both Legacy and Vintage, stretching its availability even thinner. There are many who think cards on the list are there as an excuse to not reprint them legitimately again. This is a great chance for Wizards to disprove that. Ancient Tomb needs a real reprint in a real set at the rare level to restore some semblance of reason to its price, because $75 and climbing very quickly is not a reasonable range for a card like this. Kozilek players need help. Wizards, just help them. We're about to start the top 4. From here on out, each of the cards mentioned are included in a huge percentage of their Color Identities decks. The cards here are true staples, and their reprinting would impact arguably millions of players. With that said, number 4 is Demonic Tutor. Yes, there's a lot of controversy around players using tutors in Commander, but they use them to tutor up their cool cards, to do their cool interactions, and make the game more fun. That's just how it is. It's a singleton 99 card deck, so tutors are just going to happen, and Demonic Tutor is the most prolific of them all. Low to the ground, no conditions to meet, no muss, no fuss, card that does exactly what you want. It's almost $50, and the only reason it had a momentary speed bump on an upward trajectory is because people are afraid it's going to get reprinted in Commander Masters. Let me say this. It is the most played mono black card in recorded Commander decks. Second place is Vampiric Tutor, and it's not even that close. Demonic Tutor is the black card in the format. I don't have a problem with some tutors being more expensive than the rest, like Cruel Tutor or Grim Tutor. The problem I have is a universal tutor that's better than all the rest being one of the most inaccessible. I think running 20 tutors in your deck is silly, but running one, a universally good tutor that's easy to cast and does what you want, that isn't hurting anyone. Demonic Tutor's simple design is its own worst enemy and will keep its price high without a reprint. Let players have this one good tutor. They deserve it. Number 3 is Heroic Intervention. This card is the most played green rare in all of Commander. Let that sink in for a moment. It's beyond powerful, can fit into literally any green deck that has permanence in it, so every green deck on the planet, and is so cheap at only 2 mana it's impossible to ignore the value here. Because of the obvious power and massive inclusion rate, Heroic Intervention has climbed all the way up to $15 and is not slowing down. Now sure, compared to a lot of cards we've spoken about today, $15 might not seem like a big deal, but it is. This is the Soul Ring Lightning Greaves argument. If you leave this card too long without a reprint, it will be $30, then $50 before you know it. And while that may make you excited because you own it, new players will have a harder and harder time getting one. This is not the card to gatekeep behind a high price tag. Heroic Intervention is a staple of the format, and more importantly, an easy to understand staple. It's fantastic for new players, a great addition to their early Commander decks to give them some kind of chance to survive in the wild. For the good of the format, Heroic Intervention needs to come back at least once every 2 years. Card's too good. Number 2 is Cyclonic Rift, and literally no one in the entire world should be surprised by this. It's been 3 years since its last printing, and it's tickling $40 again, which means it's time. Wizards, this is on you for printing an upheaval that wouldn't get banned in the format. The most played blue rare in Commander, Cyclonic Rift, can be included in basically any blue deck ever, as its value is independent from whatever you're doing, and its power relies on nothing else but mana to cast it. A single devastating spell that almost restarts the game for everyone else at the table, or more likely, causes everyone to concede and you can start a new game or watch some TV or something. Giving credit credit to Wizards, they never made Cyclonic Rift mythic, and they have reprinted it roughly every 3 years since its release. Return to Ravnica was the first printing in 2012, then Commander 2014, then Modern Masters 2017, then Double Masters in 2020, which means that 2023 is the year. I would actually be massively surprised if Commander Masters doesn't have Cyclonic Rift in it. The perfect set for it and the perfect year for a reprint. Everything lines up perfect. I would go as far as to say that if you have extra Cyclonic Rift you're not using, just be aware that a reprint this year is highly likely. Thank goodness for that. This card is crazy at 40 bucks. You finally made it to number 1. Leave a smiley face in the comment if you made it this far. It lets me know you're one of the cool kids. Now, this isn't just a single card, it's a cycle, and it may not be exciting to you, but it's the truth, and that's what we care about here. The reprints that are most needed in Commander Masters by far are the allied fetch lands: Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, and Windswept Heath. These cards haven't been reprinted in almost 10 years, not since Khans of Tarkir, and no Zendikar Rising expeditions don't count. After being brought down to around $10 each for years, we've gone too long without a legitimate reprint, and the demand is gobbling up the supply again. If anyone remembers what fetch lands were like before Khans of Tarkir, we're getting to that point again. Priced anywhere from $25 to $40 for most of them, the fetch lands are universal mana fixers in Commander. They're like the foundation that you build a house on, a fundamentally mandatory inclusion to any mana base that wants consistency, efficiency, and speed. The cards we've spoken about today are at the top of their respective colors, but the fetch lands, they're everywhere, and they need to be accessible to everyone. Because it doesn't matter how many colors you're running, it doesn't matter what your strategy is, at least for the most part, fetch lands will 100% make your deck better, they will improve your mana base, they will give you more consistency, they will allow you to build a little more greedily, and most important of all, they will help you have more fun with your deck building. And don't even get me started how much a reprint would help constructed, modern, legacy, vintage. I could go on a rant, so I'll just stop here. Reprint the fetch lands at rare, either here or a standard set, or both ideally. Yeah, you know what? Just do that. Easy solution. I'm a genius. Print it everywhere. Which cards do you want reprinted the most? I need to know what you're thinking on this subject, so please leave all your thoughts in the comments. As many as you have, just go wild. What do you want to come back and why? Stay tuned to the channel for more videos like these and more videos not like these. I know, I paint with many brushes. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.